Welcome to Just Saying. Today's show is with the real ones. Please stand up, so stay tuned.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live. Just saying.
Right.
I'm gonna sack this right on over here.
You're tuning in to Just Saying, where it's real friends, real raw, and
real talk.
Real talk.
I thought it was real raw.
It was real raw? Was it real raw?
Real raw.
Oh.
It's three of them. You should just let me say the real talk. We could have kept going.
You was helping me out?
I said real talk.
Okay. April's helping me out today. It's one of those days. Y'all can hear my voice. I am not myself, but welcome back. You're tuning in to Just Saying. Let me introduce you to our amazing guest. He is German. He is an actor, a model, and ladies, he is single. He is chocolate and he is fine. Please welcome Cortez G. West to the building.
Hey, thank you for doing that.
And of course, give it up for my co-hosts Jennifer and April.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
Good. Well, I'm a little under the weather. My voice is not where it normally is.
Wait, you under the weather? You came here to hug me?
Yes, and look, it's all in my face.
That's why I didn't kiss you. I just tried to, get you on that side peripheral. But, we have a tradition here at Just Saying, so somewhere in the world, we know it's happy hour.
Happy hour somewhere in the world. Even if it's 11 a.m., it's all good. So, guys, we are sponsored by Mix Moscato. So hopefully you have some mix somewhere. If not, go out and get you some. And shout out to our sponsor, Mona. We thank you for this Mix Moscato. Mine is, I think today I'm drinking mango. Yes. So it's actually pretty good. So I think you're not drinking.
Yes, no. I'm trying to.
She needs to be drinking some hot tea.
Strain my
Hot
inner
tea
fat
and
girl.
honey with a little bit of lemon. So, cheers.
Cheers. This is the bad side. That's the good side. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Hey. And I gotta drink mine out of a bottle. I'm not gonna do that.
You want to do the glass?
I noticed that. I know you gotta keep it. Sometimes you gotta keep it hood. You gotta keep it all the way hood with it. Like,
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm still dipping in though. I'm still dipping in.
It's gonna be one of those days. We can get good in hood. It's okay.
We love it.
April, what's going on in the world? What's going on in the streets?
So much foolishness going on. That who in the world saw Katt Williams? Now listen, every weekend Katt Williams is off the chain.
Oh man,
He caught a beat down.
By a 17-year-old. But wait a minute. After all the blogs were saying it was a 7th grader, I was like, now y'all need to cut it out. He's 17. His name is Luke Walsh. And it's a little bit of a discrepancy of what it was really all about. They say that they agreed they were playing soccer. Yes, soccer. But somewhere the stories are totally different. Luke is saying that he asked him to hit him, and he swung first, and then that's how the whole thing began. But then Katt is saying he was trying to defend himself, and that's why he hit the boy first, because he had hit him. Anyway, fast forward. Luke wasn't playing. Luke put him in the chokehold from behind and was like, now I said stand down. And he was like, okay. He did not know that he was an accomplished wrestler at his high school.
Wow.
Gainesville High in Atlanta. And he's like the man on the wrestling team. So that day he picked the wrong one to,
I loved every minute
So wait,
of
he
it.
got knocked out?
Well, we don't see that part.
He got
we
choked
just
out.
see him getting choked out. Yeah.
Okay.
What they were showing, and it's kind of a discrepancy because they're saying that hit came after the young man was hit. Katt is saying that the young man hit him first, and he's saying that's not true. But anyway, what it shows is Katt Williams hits the boy, then the boy puts him in the chokehold and tackles him down to the ground. And
Oh my God! What is wrong? Is he on drugs?
I don't know. I'm really, it really breaks my heart, to see people in the media like that all together. But I want him to get through a full weekend.
Kevin Hart is.
Well, shout out to Katt Williams for giving us something to talk about on Just Heard.
You know what? If he is on drugs, he should stay on them because they make his ass funnier.
Right.
Funnier, but in trouble.
Yeah. But Kevin Hart is gonna have a field day.
Oh,
they
gosh.
beefing right now.
I don't know. I just, I'm like, just keep taking the high road, Kevin. We like when you take the high road. But sometimes you got flex on folks a little bit.
I
Just
know.
like,
I be trying to do that too, and then people be getting me out of character. But sometimes you gotta let them know.
Sometimes, just
their
once,
butt right
Yes.
Well, moving on, we know that America's Top Model is coming back, but without Tyra Banks. I know. I'm sorry, but don't you enjoy watching?
I don't remember the last time I watched that damn show.
I watched it with Ava. It was Ava?
2000.
I'm like, wait, what? That's still on the air?
It's still on, but she's not coming back. And there is rumor that Karrueche Tran and E.J. Johnson will be the guest, judges. You do?
I do.
What do they really
Karrueche.
know about modeling?
That's modeling.
What
and
makes
just
you an
that
expert
whole
on telling
industry
somebody
altogether.
from being an Instagram?
But think about the difference. They're talking about a host. A host doesn't have to be a model. A host needs to be a good host.
I think you should be experienced in the field that you're judging.
Right.
Well, EJ is into
They're
fashion.
judging.
But all the judges are like the panel is gonna be, from
Diverse.
fashion and beauty.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to see Eva come back and do it.
That would be dope.
I would love to see Eva come back too.
Yeah. I don't know, but
that would be hot.
Do I see some producing skills over there?
I'm getting my feet wet here. So.
Exactly.
But I don't know. We'll see how that pans out. But sometimes, you hear it and you're like, and then when you see it, you're like, oh, I really like it. So if that's so, congratulations, Karrueche and EJ. Wish you the best. Now, moving on to a little bit of lighter news. It's sad, but lighter. Do you guys remember Gary Shanley?
Yes,
He
I
passed
do.
away
I
yesterday.
heard.
Yes.
What was he famous for? That's a little before my
he had
time.
a couple of,
I'm a young buck.
He had the Gary Shanley show, but I never watched that. But he had parts in Iron Man, Captain America, so
Oh, wow.
Over the Hedge. There was a
Okay.
few different movies that he was in. But when you see him, you know who he is.
Yeah.
But really sad. He wasn't sick or anything, but he hadn't been feeling well the days previous
Yeah, I
day.
heard that.
And
that.
he
Very
actually
sad.
collapsed when calling
Ooh.
911, and when they
God.
got there, he was unconscious. So, wanted to send our condolences out
Yes,
to the
rest in
Shanley
peace.
family, and we will be praying for you.
Yes.
Yes. So that's about it for
That's
me
it?
over here. Yeah, that's about the highlight.
All right. Well, let's jump into our show. So, we started having a real heated debate this week because April and I and our producers, we started talking about the difference between a real nigga and a real man. And I'm just like, that whole conversation just makes me a little bit uncomfortable because we use nigga as a term of endearment in our community. We use it as how men kind of love up on each other and talk to one another. We use it sometimes even as girlfriends. Like I was just calling her that because she messed me up when I was
But I
trying to do
can't
my
say
intro.
bitch. Like, what the hell?
But when you think about the roots of it, it really is such a disrespectful word. So
Yes.
I'm constantly, pinching myself every time I hear it or even every time I use it. But let's get into it because a lot of people feel very differently about the term nigga. All right, so there's a few references in the media that I want to share with you. So on Nas's album God's Son, I'm a Nas fan.
So am I.
All right,
Yes.
everybody Nas fan. So in his
Virgo.
song Last Real Nigga Alive, there's a lyric that says, Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. He's just nice. He's just like sliced like a jinsu, right? Look at the life that I've been through. I'm the last real nigga alive, that's official. So he uses it. Is that a term of endearment? Is it okay for him to say it? Is it not okay? Another quote. Let me tell you guys this from Boys in the Hood. Y'all remember Furious Styles? Yeah. All right, so Furious Styles said in the movie, any fool with a dick can make a baby, but only a real man can raise his children. Now, I got one more for you. Now, this is from Delicious D. I like her. She got a blog called Sweet and Delicious D. So on her blog, she compares the two. And she says, my definition of a man is a guy who has his priorities straight. He has a promising future ahead of him. He is a true gentleman. He makes love to his woman instead of just having sex with her. And he is not about playing games and lying to his girl. And a guy who takes care of his girl, takes care of his family, right? He takes care of all of his own responsibilities. And then she said, my definition of a nigga is a man who don't want to do shit in life but sit around. And yes, she said who don't wanna. It wasn't me.
confirm.
Right. She said he's selling drugs, probably doing the drugs that he sell. And yeah, she said probably, P-R-O-L-L-Y, probably. A man who just F's his girl, does not make love to her.
Ooh.
He sits around wanting another man's bitch. He plays games and lies about everything. He lives off his girlfriend, and he don't have a car, or if he have one, it's not a reliable car. And he is a nigga who don't have a job, or if he has one, he got a low-paying job.
Why
She
she
breaks
mad?
it all the way down.
That sounds like
Why
a
you mad?
bump.
She
I'm
real
like, she's
angry.
speaking from somebody's
Why she
experience.
That sounds like a bump.
She
That ain't
is
no,
real
She
angry.
sound like Bon Qui Qui.
She is real angry with all of her grammatically incorrectly spelled words. However, so let's get into it. So what is
She
your
must have had one of
definition?
them.
What's your definition of a real nigga? Cortez, let's start with
Well,
you.
me and my boys, most of my homies are Omegas.
Okay.
And so we're fun, we're wild. And we come out of saying the word nigga. We say ninja, or we say nick. We're like we're about to say. We be like, my nick, like
Right.
that. It's not about a thing, because I was raised up as, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And when it comes to a real ninja, shall I say, she just mad, but I think that it's a point of graduation. Like a real ninja can grow to be a real man. They can be the same person.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a black person or anything. I think a real ninja can be anyone.
Right. And I know you're German. You were born in Germany, right?
Frankfurt, Germany.
Okay, so you were born here. When did you come to the States?
I was 13, turning 14.
Okay, so you were a teenager. So did you hear that word in German?
Well, I heard it before through music.
Okay.
And that's why I have a different aspect of it, because through music, that's a way of like just relaying how you really feel, but not necessarily like you calling me a real like ninja, whatever you want to say it.
Right.
But I'm trying to cut back myself on saying nigga myself, so you can catch me like But it's not the fact of how the world sees the word. It's more so for me. I feel like I want to be seen as a very intelligent gentleman, so I don't want to say.
Right.
Nigga all the time.
Right.
It's hard for me to just even say it now. So
Right. I guess it feels just ignorant to me.
Yeah,
It does.
yeah.
Right.
It just
Yeah.
feels
But
ignorant.
what was the song? Oh, Niggas in Paris.
And I was singing it. And I was like,
We was inspired when we.
yo,
I think I was
singing
in
it.
Paris when it came out.
I was singing it. I really was. But I think that when you're out in public and you're with friends, let's say for instance, you know how we go out with your friends, you go to a restaurant and you're drinking and you're having a good time, you become a little bit louder.
Right.
And then people around you, kids or whatever, they start to hear it, and then my nigga, what's up? You nigga, you're crazy. Like, I don't know.
My husband
Right.
does that all
Right.
the time, and I be like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
See?
We'll
Exactly.
be at Jet School, which Jet is him and another person. That's the only African American kids. And he'll get a phone call, and he'll step to the side, and he's like, oh, my nigga. And I'm like, hey. He's like, can't nobody hear me? I'm like, everybody
Everybody
heard you, So it does make you feel like a different way when you're in a certain environment and it's being said.
Right.
So I just try to stay away from it
So,
altogether.
so do you
Yeah.
think it's okay that we say it when we're just around people of our kind? Because, there's this whole debate, like, white people can't say it. I think, was it Gwyneth Paltrow? She was singing the song Niggas in
Yes,
Paris, and
yes.
she caught a lot of
Right.
help from
Yes.
that.
That's not fair.
So,
That's so unfair.
I mean, it's like, I don't
Either
really
you do or
know
you
what's
don't.
it,
Like,
right.
It's not, well, when you're in the privacy of your own four walls, you can't. No, I personally think we should stay away from it, because if you want
Even
the
in
respect
music.
from other races, even in music, I think we're all intelligent enough to come up with a different way to express ourselves. Because if we can do it, what we're saying essentially is it's okay for everybody else to do it. So if it's okay for everybody else to do it, don't be offended when it's said out of context, because
Okay, but I'm
But
going to step
Diann,
in.
you like that word.
I don't like the word, but what I
you
am going to
use it
step
a
in
lot.
and say is that I do feel like we talked about a girl code
Right.
and we talked about a guy code, right? I feel like there is a black code, right? There's a black code that we have because we are black, and being black is our experience. And we get to have that and own that however we want to. I think it's a deplorable word, but I understand why people use it so much, and I think listening to Jay-Z did an interview many years ago on Oprah, and he said, our generation, we took the sting out of the word, right? So
Yeah.
for our parents, it was such a painful word, and there was so much, death and destruction and humiliation that came with it. And he's saying for us, we just took that shit out. We took it all out of it. Because I feel like nigga don't mean black.
Okay, but
because I know lots of niggas that ain't black. Right? How you doing?
I just think, yes.
That's what I'm saying.
But
sometimes it's to make the sentence sound right at the end. My nigga. You know what I mean?
I get all of that, but then now let's fast forward.
Yes.
Jay-Z said that on Oprah's couch, and I felt everything he said. But now we have a person like Trump running for president that has taken the Band-Aids off of a lot of issues in regards to race. So now you got folks saying, nigga, we gonna kill that nigga. Now you putting that sting back into it that's always been there, but I think some way we kind of tricked ourselves into thinking we took it out. We ain't take nothing out.
But there's a difference between nigga and nigger.
Listen, nigga.
I think so too.
Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't.
think so too.
Now, because
Okay, let me
it's
ask
the
you
tone
this.
in what you said. Like,
Okay, it is.
If I'm
I
like,
agree
hey,
with
my
that.
nigga, what's up? But if a white girl be like, hey, my nigga, I'm like, hey. But if he go, nigger, you nigga, I'm like,
with the ER at the end.
like, nigger, you nigger.
It's
I
the
feel you.
ER.
If you
That
say
ER.
nigga, if you say nigga, I'm offended if it's coming from a certain person.
So when she was singing that song, when she was saying niggas in Paris, when she was rapping that song, no, it was a rap Tupac song. She was rapping, wasn't it? It wasn't nigga in Paris. The girl.
Oh,
you were just talking about.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
I think it was a Tupac
I
song.
thought it was a Jay-Z.
Yeah, I
but
thought
I
it was
don't.
Jay-Z?
Okay.
Regardless, did you feel some kind of way about that?
No, I wasn't offended.
Okay.
Because of who she is.
Okay.
Now,
We don't know who she is.
well, who she's showing the world to be.
Okay.
Now, the guy that punched the African American at the North Carolina rally, he said,
that old guy. Yeah, he
were
said
you
it.
offended?
Yes, because how
So
he
let's
said
not
it.
play with it.
No,
Because-
I agree. I agree with you what you're saying, but at the same time, it's not what you
shit.
say; it's how you say it.
Yeah, but we in a day and time now that you can say it nicely. I still got a problem
Well, when you
with you.
say
'cause
it badly,
it's
we just gonna pop him. Let's leave that him. Like, we ain't gotta make everybody like that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Just
we're
pop
not
him.
making everybody, but there is a large population that feels the way he felt. And
concur.
it's like becoming, it's like life is being given to it to me.
But
It's,
you know
it's
what?
like a domino effect. I'm like,
But
what
I have
the-
to say, I do love the honesty of Donald Trump because now we're all really clear about who we are dealing with in certain instances. I like people that don't hide who they are.
Right.
Right? I like when people are honest because just look at institutionalized racism. Right? People with power use that power every day to keep us from opportunities. So I would rather know how you feel.
At least he's letting us know he's going to keep us from that.
Because it's
I
no
mean,
different.
that's
The
probably.
struggle's
I
still
feel
real.
you.
That's probably about the only thing I respect about him is that he's 100% like honest,
Transparent
like
about who he is.
who
Right.
he is, and it's like either you love it or you hate it.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, it's not for me, but
Agreed.
you know what you're getting with him.
For sure. So let me get you guys another thing to think about because this is from a Kanye song. We love Kanye. It's crazy. From the song
Crazy
Bound To.
ass.
And he says, all them other niggas lame and you know it. When a real nigga hold you down, you supposed to drown. So Kanye
Wait,
is a
what?
father. You didn't get it?
Why you gotta drown though?
It's a lyric.
It's a lyric.
You know, it's a rhyme. You know.
I mean, I'm just. What's the analogy in drowning? I
Kill yourself.
mean,
Just like Tory Hart said. Kill
It's
yourself.
almost like when they be like, I was drowning in my diamonds. I was, like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
him,
Okay.
like it's
sometimes I'm a dizzy blind. You have to break it down to me, okay?
All right, you got it?
Yes.
All right.
I'm present. I just, the ebonics be getting me sometimes.
All right, so Kanye is a father. He's also a husband and what many people would consider a real man. He's a businessman. He's creating opportunities. He's
a
creating
fucking
jobs. He's a nut, but in a lot of regard, people would say Kanye is also a real man, but he still raps about being a real nigga. So does this change the definition of what a real nigga is?
No, because Kanye is in between.
He's in
I feel like he's
between.
in between.
Talk to me about the in
Because,
between.
a real man is what he's doing. He's taking care of his family.
Right.
He loves his kids. He loves his wife. So
Right.
we see. But, he's still hood, and he still has problems. He's human.
Right.
He's still grieving over his mother. So
Yes.
I think that's the real nigga in him, So
Right.
it's like in between. And then, he can't, that music is all he has. So if we're not going to relate to it, then he's gonna be like, oh, actually, if Kanye makes a song and we don't relate to it, I'm probably moving out of the United States or wherever he lives because I feel like he's gonna blow up and just blow up every day.
Right.
When you talk about
He's
ISIS,
dangerous.
Kanye would be ISIS.
Right, for real, for real. All right, so let's move on. We obviously are very opinionated when it comes to this topic. I love it, by the way. So,
This could go on for a while.
it can go on forever.
Right,
a whole
right.
hour
We'll
can
have
be
a to be
spent on this.
continued.
Yes. So we're gonna play a game.
Oh Lord.
Lord, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm screaming. So we're gonna play a game, and this is called the Easter Shuffle. All right, so
Who
Easter is
created
coming up.
that? Yeah.
Don't be cheating.
I'm not cheating.
Don't be
I'm not
cheating.
answering
Don't be
nothing.
looking. All right. So Easter is celebrated around the world in many different ways. So I'm going to give you guys some descriptions of the different ways in which Easter is celebrated, and you have to tell me what country this comes from.
Oh,
I don't know.
Lost that.
I'm like, I
Okay, let's
don't
go to the
know.
next subject. Let's go to the next segment.
Come on,
yeah.
y'all know y'all
Oh, we
love
on
Jesus.
teams?
Come on, yeah.
Oh, well, we don't. No,
we ain't
Jennifer, girl.
All right, whoever has the answer can say it. All right.
Oh, okay.
Silent over here.
Look,
That's be creepy.
y'all think only Americans love Jesus?
No.
All right, then, come on.
Okay.
So this country celebrates Good Friday by flying homemade kites, eating codfish cakes, and eating hot cross buns. Codfish. Think codfish.
London, UK.
No,
You're supposed to
codfish.
give us multiple pick out.
Somewhere in the Caribbean.
Thank you. Codfish comes from the Caribbean. There
Yes!
you go. It's an island. You warm.
Jamaica?
No,
St. Lucia?
it's an island. Come
There's a
on.
lot of islands.
I don't go to islands.
Bahamas. Bahamas.
Bermuda.
Oh,
Bermuda.
I would have
You
never
should
thought
have
about
said the
Bermuda.
triangle. I would
Listen,
Yo,
I was
multiple
close.
choice.
I
Can we
was
get
close.
multiple
I
choice?
said Bahamas.
We are smart individuals, by the way.
She did say the B word.
Yeah.
You was close. You was close.
Y'all crazy. All right, multiple choice.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, multiple choice.
You got to
Yeah.
give us a little bit of
All
time.
right,
Yeah.
come on.
Come on now. We
All right.
smart. We just older. We have not been in school.
I
before.
graduated
Oh my
cum
God.
laude. But that was
I
not
went
one.
to private school and a military academy. so.
Right. Mama, I'm going to make you proud.
That was not in my curriculum, okay?
I know, right, man?
All right.
Remember that.
Listen,
I just want to
listen.
make the money to get there.
In this country, the Easter season is known for Easter crime or Paskekrin. At this time of year, many around the country read mystery books or watch televised crime detective series on national
Pakistan.
television. Your multiple choice answers.
They don't even.
You know what I mean? Norway.
They all about Allah.
Listen, lady. Norway, Turkey, or Finland.
Turkey.
Turkey.
Norway, Finland, or Turkey. Easter crime.
I'm gonna say Norway.
Jennifer is right again.
I told y'all I graduated cum laude.
Girl, you ain't got to answer that question.
You guessing.
I'm guessing
right.
some point
Point
in
is,
now.
I got a good educated guess, okay?
All right. So look, now this next answer.
That's all right.
Wait,
Give me
it's like
something.
crime
That's all
and all
right.
that. I ain't going
Yeah,
her
shout out to
problem.
Oslo.
Yeah.
So this next answer is a continent. Okay, we narrowing it down a little bit. All right.
Good,
Y'all
thank
know the difference between
Yeah.
country and continent, right?
Yeah.
All right. Damn. Okay. So in the northwest parts of this place, large bonfires called Easter fires are lit on Easter Sunday and Monday. The old tale is that Easter is a time when spring becomes victorious over winter, and the fires were to chase the darkness of winter away. Today, however,
They sitting over there like they really thinking.
they thinking, you wait.
I'm not.
Why are you mad?
Hush.
I'm sorry. I'm
Today, however, the meaning of the fires is simply to bring communities together. It's a continent. It's only a few.
You gonna give us multiple
You gonna
choice?
give us my-
Is it South America?
Look, Europe, Asia, or Africa?
Africa.
Africa.
Asia.
Damn, y'all dumb. You know ain't nobody doing no fires in Africa.
Well, just because you got the answer, that don't mean that. Switch roles.
I didn't say Africa. I knew what Africa. I just didn't know what to
It's too hot
You're right.
You know, when I think fire, I think Africa anyway. I'm just going to say
Right.
It said
So wait till.
to chase the darkness of winter away. Y'all crazy. All right.
So what was it?
Europe.
Europe. All right, come on. Now this next one is a country. Multiple choice.
Cortez said which was it? Now I said one, they said the other. We out of control in these Just Saying streets.
Yo, Mona, what you put in this Moscato? Yo, what you put in this mango Moscato?
Oh my God.
Y'all
so
stupid.
hot.
Yeah, our viewers is playing at home with us.
See what had happened was.
Okay.
My throat is done. All right. A mainly secular holiday in this Lutheran country. Okay, that's your first hint. It's a Lutheran country. Easter is celebrated with meals of eggs, herring, which is a fish, and Jansen's Temptation. Okay.
I like how you reading this. You make us look like we kids over there. Like she reading this, like you listen. Like okay, so like come on.
I'm trying to give y'all lots of tips.
Okay, got it.
All right, so guess y'all know what Johnson's Temptation is. I don't need to even elaborate.
Yes. I got
What is
this
that?
one. I know what this one is.
I know what fighting. Wait, what? Wait, Johnson Temptation? You said?
Johnson & Johnson. We got
Oh,
it.
okay. I got the lotion. Yeah, that's cool. Got it.
Jansen's Temptation. Jansen.
Jansen. J-A-N. Got it.
J-A-N, Jansen's Temptation. In the days leading up to Easter Sunday, children dress up as Easter witches, wearing old and discarded clothes. All right, so multiple choice. This happens in Sweden. This happens in Yugoslavia. Or this happens in Japan.
Sweden.
You say Japan?
Sweden.
Yugoslavia.
I don't know what they eat over there.
Ancient culture. Once you get out.
Yugoslavia.
Yeah, I've never
Yugoslavia.
been there though. I'm gonna have to go with Sweden.
It is Sweden. It is Sweden.
That's because I looked at the paper
Oh.
with she.
I know, and I saw her do like that.
I saw like you.
I said, let me go away
only
from
for
this
that
one.
Like she got a fan.
I should have known she was cheating. All right, we got one more.
I mean, can I be great? You
My
just can't let me
throat
be great.
gonna be wrong. All right. So here, now, get out my business, April.
Okay, I won't look.
Here, Holy Week, all right? Holy Week is marked by colorful parades and traditional rah-rah music played on bamboo trumpets, maracas, drums, and even coffee cans. The holiday is a mixture of Catholic and voodoo traditions.
Ooh.
So you know it's a black place.
Haiti?
Who you think?
I'm going to go with Haiti.
What you think? Cortez.
I was gonna say New Orleans, but I was just kidding.
I'm Haitian. They put the rabbit ears in
I know,
the
right?
food.
I don't know. I'm kind of on
underwear.
board with that. I'm kind of on the board with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, all of you are right.
Yeah.
It is Haiti. All right.
I got one right.
Yes, JW.
All right, let's move on because y'all don't know nothing about
man.
Easter, clearly.
I
hope
know
y'all
that
all going
Jesus
to church.
resurrected. That's all I need to know.
I hope y'all all going to church and pray
I
for
am.
somebody
I
other than
am.
just Christians.
I'm going to Cali worship.
Oh, is that where you go?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so let's move on. Talk about the changing of a culture and a real man's worth. So now here's a quote I'm gonna read you guys from Charlie, and this is from her another blog, Speaking the Real, and it says, "We glorify men that have a huge amount of women. We uplift the hustle that can and will land a man in jail or in prison. Why are we so afraid of being real men? Why are we scared to love one woman? Why are we ashamed to be who we are deep down inside? Is it the pressure of our peers? Is it we feel that some women now only want that good guy, the real star, the real nigga? What is it?" So I'll ask you again, Cortez, I'm gonna start with you. What is a real man?
A real man is secure within himself. He knows what he wants. He's a grown man. He's an adult. And he has experienced what he needed to experience. So when it comes to making a woman happy, he knows how to do that securely. That's what I think a real man is.
Okay. And April, how would you define a real man?
I think a real man is an individual who is not afraid to be selfless to a certain degree. What I mean by that is putting the needs of others first, but not to where you neglect yourself. Being able to take care, being able to nurture. You know, it's not just a monetary thing, because a lot of time women get stuck on thinking in order to be a real man, he has to have so much money and be all of this, you know, financially. For me, it's more spiritually and physically. Are you capable of loving me? Are you capable of, you know, contributing to what I already bring to the table? And a lot of times, you know, I think that kind of gets lost in the definition of what a man is. You know?
All right. So, Jen, one for you. Does financial status determine whether a man is a real man?
You can't ask her that.
Listen.
Yes.
Yes, I'm going to say yes, because if you can't take care of your damn self, that means you're a child. So for me, I don't want a child. Like, I'm all about supporting somebody in their dreams, but I say this all the time, I will not support your bank account. So I think a real man is independent and able to take care of himself. Now, whether you could take care of me, that's a different story.
All right, so let's take a look at this. This is a post that we found on the Shade Room on Instagram. And this is a picture. Shout out. Stepping into the Shade Room.
Hey, roommates.
Right?
Y'all be trying to drag my ass.
So this is a picture of
Keyword
Keith.
trying.
Right. Keep trying.
Of Keith and Tamika on their wedding day. So you can see
Yes,
the picture up there. They were
Tamika.
recently
I
married.
heard about this.
And it says she's a neurosurgeon.
Neurosurgeon.
She makes $400,000 a year. The dude that she married is a manager at Finish Line,
Amen.
the athletic store. He only makes $44,000 a year. Now, she paid for the wedding. She bought him a new car. He moved into her house. Basically, she pays for everything. And so the question is, does this generation's worship of entertainers, of men that appear to have it all, misconstrue how we view men?
Is he bringing her home some Yeezys or something? Just trying
I
to
love it.
Listen,
I love it.
my thing is this. If he's treating her well,
Yes.
Yes.
if he loves her down,
Yes.
then
Go on to say it, Jen.
roll with it. Roll with it. I mean, it might not be for me, because I just feel like I want my man to compliment me. But he's definitely not gonna cheat on her.
Jen, that's gonna be some guy's you're gonna meet a guy and he's gonna have $20 in his bank account and you're gonna fall in love.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you know why? You know why? Because it's not. Let me tell you
Let me
something.
say I tried to.
Let me tell you something. I
No.
have been. It's how you carry yourself, and it's the ambition
You can
that
be
he
the
has.
richest person with nothing in your pocket.
Yep.
That's true. Let me tell you. So, okay.
I want to know.
I was
what
no.
dude you dated.
So I I have my weak moments, right? Where I'm like, Lord, Jennifer, why are you dealing with this nigga? But anyway, so I was dealing with this guy, and he was not on my level. I'll just put it like that. But you know what? I liked him as a person. He was a nice guy. He carried himself well. He had good morals. I could relate to him. He had been through a lot. But and we connected. We connected on, I think I was a little vulnerable. But anyway, we connected. However, that for me only lasts but so long. Because I just feel like I'm not gonna respect you to a certain, like, I just feel like you gotta be able to bring something to the table. Cause I'm like, listen, I want this motherfucking table.
Obviously, he's bringing something to the table because she married him. But let's just go a step further. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Maybe he has this incredible business mind, and he just doesn't have, what he needs to get to the next level. So now, her being his wife and wanting her husband to succeed, maybe she'll give him that seed money to do whatever it is that he may want to do, and it might surpass wherever she's at in her life. But you never know the greatness that's on someone's life from the things. The things sometimes just takes away from what's really there. And he can have all the money. She $400,000 a year. God forbid if the company she works for goes belly up and she's unemployed, and now his $44,000 is the money that's taking care of the household. Yeah. Those things can change, but at the end of the day, who that person is what's going to get you through. When you go through some stuff, that money don't mean nothing. What is your mind like? What is your heart like? Because that's what you need to carry you through. And even in marriage, like, you know, you've been married and you know who you was married to. And I'm sure you took notes and said, man, I know not to do that or whatever. And anybody in a bad relationship or, you know, that doesn't work would do that. But you got to look at the greatness of the individual, because a lot of times the money, the cars, the house, the clothes, the jewelry, you know, all of those things, which are just things, just clouds the vision of who that individual is, and the clouds their potential. You can have $15 in your pocket, and I've seen it. I've seen people who were about to leave LA because it was just not working out. And one call came through and he had an opportunity.
Changes your whole life.
And now he is the man, period. So I always, you know, try to be careful when I look at a person and I say, well, he might not look like I think they should look, but that's there now. You don't know where their later is going to take them. So I'm very, you know, I'm an advocate.
I agree with that. I just, for me, where I am in my life, I'm not really willing to. I want somebody that's already established in their career.
You give me that you're the type of person that, especially with what you went through. I mean, you went through it in front of millions of people, and I think with what you went through, you will never put yourself in a predicament where you allow someone else for you to rely on them. So whether
absolutely.
they can take care, I think that if the guy can take care of himself and he doesn't need you and doesn't never ask you for anything, you never have to pick him up, you never have to do nothing. I think he can fill a void in your life to where you feel like, oh, okay, well, maybe, you know, he doesn't have to
I'm not saying I need someone to take care of me, because I'm good. But what I'm saying is, I just want him to have his own shit.
So
like, I don't want to have to take care of him.
When you buy Hermes, he needs to be buying Machino.
I mean,
and not Foot Locker, not.
No, I like what I like. I don't judge someone on what they like or what they wear.
Let me ask you this. Because you are comfortable enough to do whatever Jennifer wants to do, right? Is that not enough for, like, couldn't you be just content with that? And if a guy comes to the picture, he don't need nothing from you, but his idea of dinner might be, let's go to Red Lobster. Listen, ain't that wrong with Red Lobster? Beyonce put Red Lobster back on the map, right?
Those biscuits
but
do be popping.
But you might want to go to Mastro's. But he can take care of the meal at Red Lobster. And Jen don't really need nothing. She just needs a man to love her the way she feels she deserves to be loved, respect her, give her all the things that Jen can't give herself. Jen can take herself out to a nice restaurant and shop wherever she wants to shop. Is that not enough? You want him to be able to be equally yoked in those capacities? Or would you rather he be
absolutely.
more than enough in the emotional
No,
realm
because here's the thing. Like, there's certain things that I do like to do, and I just feel like if I'm going to Nobu with a dude, I don't want to have to go Dutch, or matter of fact, I don't even want to have to bring my bag.
Okay.
Like, I'm very traditional when it comes to stuff like that. I just feel like if we're gonna go out on a date, I feel like you should pay for it.
The universe is gonna bring you that, but at the same time, I feel like if we were together, you'll be motivating me to get to where I need to be on your level or surpass your level. But no one is perfect.
I know, right?
I know. Right. And I'm not a bum.
Right.
Trust that I'm not a bum. But no, I'm saying that.
I understand what you mean.
I'm saying that, like, I mean, you can motivate that person to get to that point of where they need to be.
You know, I love that Jen is always honest and she's always consistent about, you know, she's very consistent and she's very honest about what she wants and what she doesn't want in a man. My only concern would be is when you lead with that, you have to accept what comes with that.
No one is perfect.
Right? So when a man knows that, you know, one of your top priorities is his financial status, know that he has his own list of priorities. And that might be, I just can't be faithful to you.
Ooh.
It could just be a reality. And maybe he'll be a real man and be honest, right?
Maybe he won't.
Right? Or maybe he'll be a real nigga and just have bitches all over the world.
Right.
But that comes with that. When you lead with that, the likeliness of that kind of behavior from a man, I think, is greater, because in his mind, he's like, well, I know one of the reasons she's only with me is because I'm cool. That might not be all of it, but I know that's one of it.
Well, that's actually not my top reason for being with someone, but I feel like, you should be able to take care of yourself.
Agreed. But taking care of himself, like April said, might not be taking care of himself the way you feel he should take care of himself.
Well, you know, and that's the difference of opinion.
Like my husband is really simple. My
gonna ask
husband
you that,
is a
yeah.
very, very simple man. He don't need a lot. He don't like a lot. What he like, but he don't need a lot, don't like a lot. And I've said this before, there is not room in one household for 2 stars. Both of us can't be shopping like we crazy. Somebody got to be sensible.
Right.
Right? One person has to be more
I
grounded, more
agree.
stable. I don't think there's that balance there when both of you are,
The same.
you know, millionaires.
Yeah.
Like, right? There's no family there. Like, who creates the family or who, you know?
Yeah.
Like, April is all about family, but she allows her husband to be the star that he is,
Yeah.
you know? So, anyway, another question for you guys. So, Jen, with so many young women and men growing up without examples of real men in their lives, how do we expect them to know what that looks like?
That's a good question.
That is a very good question because I do strongly feel like your foundation shapes you. So I just think, you know, I really feel sorry for people like this generation growing up because, you know, the examples we have of what's cool is like Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. And it's just, we just live in a different era, you know, like I remember my mother singing Diana Ross songs to me. And just even when we go back to the music, like people were singing about like real love and not, you know, ass up, face down, like that's the way we want to fight. Like we didn't have that. So I just feel like, right, it's just we live in a different world, and I don't really know. I think that's really part of the problem because we don't have. I think we look up to Barack and Michelle. But we also feel like that's not really attainable because he's the president. Like, it's not, when you don't have someone in your community or someone that's close to you that you can relate to, it's just someone you see on TV, it becomes like distorted. Like, is that really real life?
Right.
So I'm not really sure how to answer that question because I didn't really have to grow up like that.
Yeah. So, Cortez, did you grow up with real male influences in your life?
Both of my parents are military. And my father was more so like pretty MP, but more so like FBI for the military. And there were times I couldn't even know what my father was. So, and I'm the only child. So I grew up in a household where I had to learn to be an adult at a young age. My mother passed when I was 15. So for me, I'm going to have to disagree with you, love. I think that foundation does play a part sometimes, but when we grow up,
Right.
when you have enough morals to say that I'm an adult, I don't have to act this way. I don't have to be this way. When I went through my phase of younger, my 20s, and I was, you know, having roommates and things of that nature, you know, you would come home and the trash needs to be taken out, and you know those kind of things. Are like, if I smell it, I know you smell it. So you know, and I remember having like 4 roommates at one time, and I decided to call a meeting, and one of my friends who didn't graduate or anything like that or whatever, and I was younger at this time, he said something to me. He said, Cortez, everyone did not grow up like you. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, we didn't have parents there and blah, blah, blah. I said, I don't understand because I'm an adult. So I know if I smell trash, I want to take it out. It doesn't matter if, I could never comprehend that. So when people act out these days, when I see people like doing certain things, I kind of like shake my head kind of thing, because I'm like, dude, you're like a grown person. Why are you acting like that? You make that choice to be that person or to act that way. We all have choices.
Right, but some people really don't have common sense.
I agree with that.
And I think, you know, your parents were in the military, and I think they probably taught you responsibility. Like, some people grow up with parents and they don't teach them any responsibility. Like, my parents, I didn't have to work, but they wanted me to go to work on the weekends because they wanted to teach me a sense of responsibility. And to that day, that has always stuck with me. But some people are not privileged to have parents that teach them certain things. So they'll just be like, okay, yeah, the garbage is sitting there, and what? Like, they don't feel like they have to do anything because, 1, they may lack common sense, or 2, they just don't know.
It's true. And if you look at this, the examples we started the show with, Kanye, Nas, and we talked about Jay-Z, and none of them grew up with their dads. None of them grew up with men in the house every day. Nas has a good relationship with his father now, but he didn't grow up with him. Jay-Z never had a good relationship with his dad. I don't know Kanye's story, but I think that definitely plays a role in even the N-word and how they use it and how they use it so freely. Because, I did grow up with my father, and you cannot utter that word in his house. Period. To this day, he will put you out.
What word?
The N-word.
Yeah, okay.
Like, you cannot use it. So I think, fortunately, you had an amazing mother, who certainly raised a great man. But I think a lot of people don't have that. So April, we've spoken about this before, and I know Sean is an amazing father. I know you're an amazing mother. But what are some things that we can do, right, to be better examples for young boys and young girls who don't grow up with real men in their lives?
Oh, man. Omar, my first son, his father and I, we broke up. He was 3 weeks old. And he was in his life, but the way he was in his life, I'm not sure if it was as productive in his forming of becoming a man because he was so young.
Right.
It was a time where he was kind of not active in his life like he should be. Like, it was just no excuse, but he wasn't. And then we moved, and of course that added on to it. But, when Sean came into his life, he actually, showed him a lot of things. He experienced a lot of his first with Sean. And I think that is the biggest problem with men. I feel like when you don't have another man to relate to for your first, you either become scarred or you become empowered. I feel like, as a woman, I really tried to deposit into him all that I could, but I still recognized I couldn't teach him how to be a man. I still needed the help of a man, and luckily Sean came in. But I think that for women who are in single parent households, or if the fathers are absent, it's very important for your child to have a example in their life. I don't think that the example is the only way they learn how to become men, because I look at my son now, fast forward, he's 20, and his state of mind and where he's at in life just blows me away. Like, he's in college, third year, and Omar does not care about partying. He don't care about the college experience. He don't care about any of that. But I go back to what you said. He wanted it just as bad as I wanted to teach it to him. So I just feel like, it's not just what Jennifer says, and it's not just what Cortez says, but it's a combination that you have to be able to give both. He has to want it just as much as you.
But let me rephrase the question, because I know that Omar is a young man, and Cortez, I'll ask you this. So I realize that he's had an amazing example in his life. What are some things that we can do for not our own house, not our own children, but maybe some kids, some other kids who did not, didn't have what we had? Like, it's an amazing blessing. It shows what an amazing woman that your mother is, that you've grown up to be such an upstanding man.
Well, thank you.
But what are some things that you can do to young men that are like yourself that didn't grow up with a dad?
It's about self. I would definitely say it starts with self. It's like telling someone to quit smoking, and they're not going to quit unless they want to quit smoking.
Okay.
I think it starts with self. But let me go back a little bit. I want to congratulate April for one, because on being just a wonderful woman. Because it's not just that Sean came into your life or your son's life. You made the right choice. You knew that you wanted to find someone to better your son and help your son on what you could not do. Right. And that takes a strong, smart woman to do that. Right. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
But it also starts with the fact that he saw what your son saw what you did, and saw what you brought to him, and saw what Sean was able to, make him become, And for me, to go back with what you said, Diann, I would definitely say I actually started something with, dealing with bullying and people, and, going through things like that. And it was because that happened to me. So I figured, like, if I would go out and tell my testimony, because everyone has a testimony, everyone is chosen to have a testimony. Right. And I think if it wasn't for the fact that the experience and the things that I went through, I wouldn't be who I am today. So I decided to go out and tell other people that. And I think that everyone should not play the quiet card. Always tell your testimony. When you sit on the bus or wherever you are and someone has asked you something or you see a person acting a certain way, speak up, say something, because you never know how much you can touch someone just by saying your testimony. So I always feel like, let's be mentors. Let's say what we need to say when we need to say it, and not after it has happened.
Wow, that's a great point. That's a great point.
Go back and help. That's definitely something. I thought you were talking about my own home. I'm sorry.
I know.
Shut up.
I know.
I mean, but it's both the same. It's still the same, though.
Yeah,
It's still the same, yeah.
It's a big difference. It's
think
not
so?
the same. It's a big difference because I think that too oftentimes we focus only on home. We only focus on, and we feel like our kids are good, so we good. Like them kids over there, that ain't my problem. They bad, they ain't got no home training, that's not my problem. And there was a time in the black community where we were all we had. And so we were very responsible for our neighbors' children.
Absolutely.
I know growing up in my neighborhood, I was the only friend in my circle of girlfriends that had a dad. So my dad was everybody's dad.
Right.
Like when he cooked dinner, he cooked for all my friends. I still have friends today. My father's been in the hospital that have been to the hospital, and I don't even live in Oakland anymore because they still have that love for him because he cared enough to just make sure they were okay. Yeah. He wouldn't let my friends walk home at night. He'd get in the car. No, baby, let me get the car. Let me drive you home. So I think that we've lost that, and it makes me sad because all we can do is point fingers, or we make it and we move out of our communities and we don't look back.
But I look at school, though, when it comes to kids, because as long as I'm teaching my kids the right way, I feel like, there can be a vessel in the school. Like my kid can be one of those kids to say, have his type of friends that, hey man, don't do that.
Right.
No, we ain't got to do that. Don't talk to them like that. Or don't act like that. Don't say that to the teacher. Those kind of things. So I saw it as that, but now I'm seeing how you're saying it's a big difference. But I also see what's starting it in home. It also creates a change.
For sure. For sure. Everything starts at home. For sure.
Yeah, I think you have to lead by example.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been a juicy topic. Yeah. I love it. So before we wrap out, we do have a question.
I like that.
So we put out this topic to people on Instagram and Twitter, and we got a question. I love her handle, Danita Applebaum. 05. We see you, girl.
Aww.
So she says, "What are some warning signs that you have met a real nigga and not a real man?" Warning signs. Give her one, April.
He's selfish.
Selfish. That's a good one. Jen?
He ain't got no damn job.
I knew he was
Inconsiderate.
Inconsiderate. All right. And then I would say he don't love his mama.
Yes.
He don't love his mama.
Wow.
Run if you don't love his mama.
That's very true, because every female I've ever dated reminded me of something of my mother.
Yes.
Every single, and that's so funny.
Anybody who hates his mama probably gonna hate you
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
All right, so before we wrap out, why don't you give our viewers one last thought on this topic, real in versus real man, and teach them how and show them, tell them how they can keep up with you. I'll start with April, since you haven't done this with us. Cortez,
Thank you.
last.
I really, really just hate giving any attention and power to the word nizzle.
Didn't we talk about that? Didn't we talk about that on Wednesday, girl? Didn't we talk about that?
one time. There you go. But, I want to say this. I think that, from the door, sometimes you just know when he's no good. You know what I mean? And other times you don't. Don't be so quick to judge, because judgment can take you can miss some great opportunities by misconception that lead you into judging. So I would just say pray. Pray about any man that you may come across that you're trying to figure out what is he really made of, because sometimes the most wounded individual, or nigga shall I say, can turn out to be one of the most incredible and beautiful men. So just be patient, but don't be stupid. Pray. And make sure you don't just judge him because of what it looks like. Because just like God is still working on you, he may be working on him. And I am April Daniels. You can keep up with
Holy Ghost over
me
here.
across all social media platforms.
She is preaching over there.
That is T.D. Jakes, okay?
Thank you, April. Jen?
I'm just going to say this. To me, a real man is, he is definitely selfless. He takes care of himself. He takes care of his family. He is about God. And I think you know right away when you meet a real man. He is considerate. And I think he's a caring person. And when you talk about a real nigga, none of those things matter to them. So if you see one of those, ladies, you need to run the other way. And I'm all about giving people chances. However, you can't change anybody. People do grow, but do you want to sit around and wait for that? Not me. No, I'm sorry. Like, if you show me right off the bat that you are inconsiderate and just you're not respectful, I'm not gonna wait for you to grow to be those things. Like, you need to find Jesus and then come find me. So you can keep up with me on Twitter at I am Jennifer and on Instagram at JenniferWilliams17. And happy Good Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would definitely say how to detect. I'm not going to say how to detect. I think that in every relationship, whether it's your sister, brother, sister, mother, father, communication is very fundamental. Talk. No, I don't know what you want unless you tell me. You know, and if you're sitting out in dinner with someone and you're having a conversation and you say, well, hey, I want a guy with a FICO score of whatever, and he doesn't have that, keep the ball in your hand. If you can't deal with that, then move on. Enjoy your dinner and go and leave and move and leave it at that. Mm-hmm. But don't put yourself in a predicament where you have to realize now, oh, how can I get out of this? You keep the ball in your hand and communicate with him or her and let them know, hey, this is what I want. And you know, you decide and let them decide. Yeah? Right?
Yes.
All right. You can find me on all social media handles at Cortez G West. Make sure you also follow these lovely ladies at Just Saying on IG and Twitter, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
Just saying underscore.
Yeah.
Just saying
underscore.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, ladies at home and men watching, there is a difference between the two. And how do we know the difference? Because we know that people don't always show their true selves immediately. And sometimes you can't tell your heart what to feel. But what you cannot do, nothing can eradicate time. So when you take your time, everything will reveal itself to you. And when it does reveal itself to you, don't sit back and think that you can hope or believe or pray them into something that they are not, because people show you who they are, and when they show you, believe them. And when you hear the truth, sometimes you gotta run. You can keep up with me across all social media platforms.
Amen.
At Diann Valentine. Thank you for watching. Diann. We'll see you next week. God bless you. Good night.
Evangelist Diann.
Prayer changes anything.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.